Well, morning everyone. Hello. Right, had to really stretch around there to do that. Don't know if it was worth it, really. This morning we're doing the belly band, except this one's a vertical belly band. And it's great for if you've got like large postcards and things, rather than tucking them into a pocket, because we do love a pocket. But it's just a nice way of supporting something else within your page. Now, the difference with this one is that I've done it so that the butterfly moves up the belly band from one flower to the. All right, so it's a real simple technique to do. Let's move that out the way. And I'm going to show you with the digital kit. Right, I've done my mouth exercises. Hopefully they'll work now. Digital kit Garden Fresh. And I'm going to use this bit. Or should I use that bit? Ooh, I'm going to use that bit. Right, you will need either the page from your magazine. So I had a bit out. Where did I put it? Either a page from your magazine, if you're using the magazine, or your digital kit. Oh, that'll do. Yeah, that'll do. That's my pack of bits. And we want a piece that is going to be the length of our page. Just reach for that because I've forgotten how long the page was. Sorry, looking at my chunky little arm there. Let me bring that across again. So we want a piece that measures 8 inches long, just over 8 inches long. Width. Oh, so organised, Carol, so organised. Now this is an inch wide, but I'm actually going to fold it back on itself to give it the extra support. So I actually want a piece that is 2 inches wide. Yeah, 2 inch by 8 inch. Remember that. What did I say? I can't hear you. You have to shout louder. 2 inch. Let's do it 2 1/4. Yeah, 2 1/4 inches. Tell I'm good at this technical stuff, can't you? 2 inch, 2 1/4 inches by 8 inches. Ooh, that was a bit loud. Oh, and I didn't cut it right. Magnet's still stuck to my scissors, look, from yesterday. Alright, so a bit of mathematics now. Right, so we've got 1/2 inch that we're going to score. And then we want this to be an inch wide, this bit. So that takes us up to 1 1/2 inches. Yes, that looks about right. And I'm going to fold the little one back on itself and the big one back on itself. There we go. Stick those down. In fact, let's burnish it first because I just want to make sure it's a sharp crease. I'm sorry about my madness as well. I'm quite sane, really, you know. Sometimes. Blocked nib. Obviously didn't put my lid back on, did I? So we're going to put a little strip on that side, and I'm going to put a little strip on that side. So this is a little bit like making the pockets. Pockets, we love a pocket. Right, so we've cut our strip 2 1/4 inches wide by 8 inches long, and we've scored it at 1/2 inch and 1.5 inch. Alright, now I need to trim this bit down to 1 inch. I could use that one. I could do a oh look, it's not stuck. Could have done a wider belly band. It doesn't have to be this narrow. Stick. Right, if I hold that down with my arm whilst the glue takes, move you up. So I'm going to line my wire up on the edge of the paper there, flip it round, and then I'm going to cut it 1 inch wide. It moved. Right. Oh well, we'll soon find out. I'm still holding on to it. I think it's taken now. I'll just check I've got that right. Yes. Have I? Yes. That'll do us nicely. Thank you very much. And I'm just going to stick it on, and then I'll chop the top and the bottom off. So this card that I'm using here is file folder card. Just plonk that on there. Of course, if I was using, say, this image, I would have a little bit more of a think about where I was actually going to position this. Oh look, I actually need to trim this down here as well. So cut that off at the top. I'll cut that off at the bottom. There we go. And we'll trim this up here. Making sure that I don't cut the card at the same time. And then I'm going to use my distress ink. And I got a question yesterday about what this is. This is a distressing blending tool. But you don't have to use one of these. Ooh, there is a cheaper version which is just a little bit of sponge. You do have a little bit more control with this than you do with this. It's the long and the short, what you can afford and what's best to use. If you can start investing in some of the better tools, or the more designated tools, it is worth it quite a lot of times. There's the odd one or two things that you're like, oh, wish I hadn't bought that. I've lost my bit of my doings. Never mind, I'll do it this way. So then I'm just going to run it off the end. Just give it a little bit of colour, and then at the corner I'm going to do it off the corner, and it gives it a slightly rounded edge then. I tell you what, these ladies that have got the ink pads like this, and they just go like that and then start, they must be really juicy. I find that if I do that, I'm like, come on, give me some ink. So I find that just running it round in a circle like that just helps me to get a bit of ink on my pad. And I re-ink my pads a lot because I ink a lot. And the other thing you'll notice as well with distress inks, you see the colour of that one there? As it starts to dry out, it goes a little bit lighter. So sometimes I like to go over it twice just to give it a little bit of definition. But yeah, I don't seem to have a juicy pad at all. Alright, so for a belly band of any kind, you would then turn it over and put glue on each end and stick it to the page. We need to make the sliding mechanism, and you also need to decide whether you're going to have something top and bottom. So on my original one, I did the, oh, I'm pointing up there, can you not see? I put these flowers on, and this is a new flower range from Hobbycraft. Really pretty. I mean, they're £2.50 a go, so they're not too bad in price, but you use them up fairly quick, so you get through quite a few, or I do. But I like this one particularly because it's got all these little tiny beads on. In fact, I think I might use that one again. Now, I'll think about it. Yeah, I might. Actually, yes, I will. And I'm also going to put a leaf on it as well. So you get those flowers and you get... There we go. And you get the leaves. Could do with a few more leaves though, Hobbycraft, please. There's not quite enough in the pack for the amount of flowers that there is. Don't throw things like that away, your little plastic bag. You know how we did those windows earlier on? Could use that for that. So I've got two of the pale blue, look. Mine frame so you can see. I can see. I'm hoping you can see. And then I could put a leaf at the top and the bottom. Ooh. The flower is trying to escape. Put a leaf top and bottom, that'd be quite pretty, wouldn't it? Yeah, let's do that. Oh, wrong glue. Okay, and I'm just going to put some on the back there. Oh, my beads are coming off, look. See anything sometimes. Sometimes I put a little bit of glossy accents on over the top of those beads to prevent them from keep falling off. And you want a bit there, because you don't want a great big globule amount of glossy accents. Sorry, I'm concentrating. Can you tell? Look, I can't speak. I can't speak anyway sometimes. All my beads are coming off, look. Okay, that's pretty. Yeah, like that. Next bit is the mechanism. Get rid of all those beads. Next bit is the mechanism to make whatever it is you're going to use slide up and down. So again, I'm just going to use my bit of file folder card. Sometimes you need to look at what you're going to slide up and down to see what size it is, to see what size of mechanism you're going to use. Now, I picked out the digital kit, excuse me, because I thought you could actually do the watering can. If you fussy cut that out, you could do the watering can sliding up and down to the flowers, or the wheelbarrow, or the snail, or you could cut out the little circle so that you've got the ladybug there, and that could be sliding up and down from one flower to the other. On mine, I used the metal butterfly. You could use a little wooden die cut thingy as well. So let's just think, what would I think? I think I might use the watering can. I quite like that. So then it looks as though I'm watering the flowers. quite like that. Okay. So what I'm doing is I'm cutting a strip. Now I can't tell you how wide it needs to be, because as I say, that will depend on what it is that you're sliding up and down. And we slide it underneath the belly band and bring it to one end, and I'm going to flip that bit over. And I'm not going to flip it in really tight up against this edge. I'm going to do it fairly loose, and then I'm going to flip that bit over. And I want to see now, will that move up and down? Yes, it does. So I've got about the right. If you do it too tight, it won't slide, and it'll just drag against the belly band itself. So I'm going to cut it so that there is, I'll show you in a sec, there's a slight overlap. Don't want a massive overlap. Can you see how that is now overlapping? Just by a little bit. Straighten it up a bit. Okay, let's try that again. So can you see this one went to the end? It doesn't have to go to the end. That's, I'm going to trim that off just a touch. Not very straight cutting. And then that slides over, and so long as it does that, we're all right. Right, and I'm going to put some glue on there. And make sure you don't get glue anywhere near your belly band edge as well. I'm just going to get a clip. I just want to hold that down, because otherwise it'll keep doing that. Let's glue that down a minute. Hold it down a minute. There we go. It's just whilst that's setting, let's just fussy cut this out. I could do with a pair of proper fussy cutting scissors, because I use the just my large, almost dressmaking scissors. And the other thing is, can you see how I'm holding the scissors vertically the whole time? They're not moving. I'm moving the paper to cut out, and that's what helps to give you a smoother line rather than a jagged line. So can you see, look, the scissors aren't moving at all, and I'm closing the scissors together very slightly. I'm starting much further back on the blade and closing the scissors just slightly each time. Because of course as well, doing it this way, it gives me easier access to look at the line that I'm cutting. This is like watching paint dry, this bit, isn't it? Me cutting paper. There we go. Just going to ink the edges a little bit. So if you have printed this onto white paper, you'll have, right on the very edge of the paper, you'll see the white. And so if you just ink it up a little, it just covers that bit over. Oh, sorry, knocked you. Okay, so that should have set now. Oh, I think I might have had a bit of seepage. Oh, my flowers have come off. Come here, looks. Let's stick you back on. There we go. So if I just check. Yep. So rather than place glue on there, because I don't know how much I'm going to need on there, and I don't want to put too much on, I'm actually going to put the glue on here. And I'm just putting a square of glue on. Now the other thing that I could do as well is once it's on, because that bit's quite delicate in that it's got a long stalk, so it's not well supported, I could actually cut out a thin strip of card, so like a little strip like that, a little bit thinner than that. Once I've got it stuck on here, I can just stick a little piece of that on the back, and that will just help to support it, because you'll probably end up pulling on that to move it up and down, and the last thing we want is for that to be breaking. So let's get my journal page. Move you guys out the way a minute. Where are we, Carol? Nope. Maybe it helps if you have it. Have I got it the right way up? No, I have got it the right way up. Oh, I know what I'm missing. So I think it's to go on that page, because I didn't like this one so much because of it being white. It's a bit whiter than the others. But by the time I've added some other cards and things underneath, that will hide that whiteness quite a bit. So I'm not going to stick it down because I want to just finish it off by adding my bit of card and stuff underneath. So, but as you can see, look, it slides up and down. You've just got to, as I say, the best part is you've got to avoid pulling that in too tight. I'm going to add an extra little bit of card underneath there and also on the handle here, but I want to wait until all my glue is set before I flip it over. But that's all there is to it, really. Of course, you could make a secret little spot as well, because if you do a slightly wider belly band with the card, if you leave the top open, you've actually got a little place at the top here where you could insert a long bookmark. No one would be none the wiser. Have fun playing with that one. Looking forward to seeing what you come up with. And as I say, this is a blending tool. Right. See you later. Bye.